Oh, Fido the comic strip is coming at you live. Jesus. Wow, I had that also well planned. Let's try that again.
The best laid plans of my
Fido the comic strip coming at you live from Boston in the ironically named Commonwealth of Massachusetts in the upper right-hand corner of the United States of America that we call New England, on the continent of North America. On the planet Earth, rotating at 900 miles an hour and orbiting at 19 miles a second, the local star we call Sol, in the fashionable western spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, common dimension 616. All opinions and views are solely those of the comic strip Fido, and in fact, not necessarily those of the cartoonist Charles Lincoln Cruz III, who himself has actually no opinions on anything. Amidst the finest aromatic clouds of secondhand smoke and YouTube's cheapest duty-free music. Today we might actually get some work done, but don't hold me to it. It says Fido Live number 140. We'll start today with what our favorite segment, What the Chief Colorist Hath Wrought.
Oh yes, it's my favorite segment. What do you have to say?
I assure you, the very vows of a 20-year marriage are tested here week after week.
After week, after week, after week.
Well, we got, this actually goes out tomorrow. This is 7 Days to Fido. A documentary crew goes into the production offices of Fido the comic strip. We have the documentarian, Fido here. A talking dog. Why? Because people love dogs. And what kind of wonderful fantasy is it to have someone you love tell you how much they love you?
Mm-hmm.
And Bo comes up, hey, can we get some work done? I'm being interviewed here, you jerk. Really, I hate that guy.
Oh.
So everything's pretty well gray, but that's what we wanted. You see the set in the background. We've got this fake stud wall here that I like even how the floor shows it's a fake wood floor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Fido set. See, we're really breaking the third wall here. Now, it's the third wall because, see, this is only a two-dimensional artwork thing. So breaking the third wall. Where on television, you break the fourth wall. That's what She-Hulk was trying to do unsuccessfully. You might have to put She-Hulk on that bingo card, huh?
Maybe.
So this is the Tuesday. We go.
Can't keep that lit, huh?
Well, there are no accelerants in it. It's just pure tobacco. So
I'm teasing.
Let's get the atmosphere proper. There we go. 7 Days to Fido. We have been given unprecedented access behind the scenes of Fido the comic strip. Felicia, a cat. So, you're the cat in this comic strip. Yes, it's been a challenge, but one of the cats. Hi, I'm Closet Cat. Closet Cat, another cat. Closet Cat, interesting name. They made no effort. I don't think so. She point out here. He's doing the Keanu Reeves floating hand behind her.
Uh-huh.
So no sexual harassment here.
Nope.
Kind of like how Felicia's sitting here anticipating this is her big moment, her big interview. Closet Cat destroys. Okay. As far as mistakes go, True Colors do what she's supposed to do. Here's Wednesday. 7 Days to Fido. A behind-the-scenes look at the comic strip. Bogash, you are the main character. You know, as a layout thing. Probably should have squished this up a little bit more so I could have more room for the drawing. But when you have only like that much, this is really a third of the panel. I bring the sight lines up so you're looking down at things. So the audience's eye is higher. That's just a stylistic thing that makes me happy. And why are we here? To make me fucking happy. You got that right. Okay, Bogash, main character. Bogash, you're the main character in this comic strip. No, he's not. Nope. I see a mistake already, Chief Colors. Oops. Stop. Give me a cigar color pencil. Fido's smoking a cigar here, not a cigarette. Fido doesn't smoke cigarettes.
I thought it was a cigarette.
Yeah.
You got me just as I moved away for 1 second.
Yep, we gotta.
You couldn't have waited.
We have to repair this one quickly.
What color do we want?
Give me a brown, anything.
Here we go.
Yeah. Gee, you could at least put a point on it.
Really. You could have told me before we started the show.
I just noticed it.
See, the 20-year marriage. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the cigar over here.
We were butt children when we married.
And right there. We were children, not butt children, because I have no idea what a butt child is. All right. Fido, Bogash, you are the main character in this comic strip. No, he's not. I was the first guy. The comic strip is called Fido, not Bogash. Fido Star. Now, Bogash Cashman. They're talking over each other, so while Bo is trying to say we all work very hard, Fido's. And how'd that work out for you, pal? The strip was trash. Trash Bogash. But it's an ensemble cast. So trash Bogash janitor. I don't know what's going on with Felicia here in the background. Looks like she's had a rough day.
Every now and again, you just got to take a little cat nap.
All right, we have Thursday here. 7 Days to Fido. We've got to bring in Jane. The documentary following the making of the comic strip. And we're catching this mid-interview. And it was a good idea to bring a woman onto the cast of Two Women. Felicia arrives. Oh, my OMG, I didn't know you were in today. You look great. How are you? Well, I got to get ready. Do a good interview. Okay, love you. I can't stand her. And Friday in the bar, of course. 7 Days to Fido. I guess the thing is a little bit tilted here because they're following the interviews, the documentary is falling apart. A documentary following the making of the comic strip. And Bo is trying to explain. The comic strip follows the old sitcom formula where everything is reset in the end. No changes. Yep, that's our new teacher. Always in here getting drunk. And, Dino, this is your daughter. I want child support from you. Yep, no changes here. And the closet cat comes out. I'm a dog now. He's even cut off his tail.
Not closet cat.
Oh, sorry. Cat boss.
Cat boss.
Cat boss comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dog now. I got to do the voice. So the whole thing is all about the whole sitcom idea that things never change in the end. Perhaps you remember Happy Days. At the end of Happy Days, even if Fonzie jumped the shark, in the end they all reset to their original character positions. It's just something that occurs throughout modern media, and including in the comic books. And one of the recent, I don't want to say recent things that we've had in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, of course, they were based on the original comic books. And in the news here, Marvel Comics executive editor defends continued opposition to Spider-Man and Mary Jane's marriage. Aww. Quote, you seriously think that if there was an easy way to make sales skyrocket, I wouldn't do it? To which I answer, well, yes.
Yes, we do, in fact, believe that.
The web discourse surrounding the publisher's ongoing refusal to reunite Spider-Man and Mary Jane continues to grow, and Marvel Comics executive editor Tom Bevrud is standing by his belief that despite fan sentiment, there is no inherent advantage to bringing them back together in the mainstream Earth 616 continuity. Now, Spider-Man and Mary Jane got married long time ago, an annual. I don't know how she stumbled down the aisle in that dress. So tight around her.
It's actually really honestly called a mermaid style.
They did she made a deal with like the devil basically, and erased everyone's memory, and there was no marriage. And people always thought, okay, well, that's an interesting storyline. Let's see where they go with it. And over 20 years later, they haven't gone anywhere with it. I would say this is a case of just resetting the character to its beginning more than it would be just, these writers, these people are just not ever prepared to make a comic book about a happily married Peter Parker. It's just not, they don't have it in them. Just like Dino suddenly no longer married. He's reset back to his regular position. That's I don't have it in me to write a happily married Dino. It just ain't going to occur. But the Spider-Man I remember was the one who had Felicia Hardy, the black cat, whom I hear Sydney Sweeney is probably going to play. We need a soft R or a really hard PG-13 Spider-Man with Sydney Sweeney as the black cat. She doesn't give a fuck who Peter Parker is. She just wants Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the black cat is what made Spider-Man a man.
He was
And then,
Spider-Boy.
no, their relationships don't work out. They broke up, whatever, I don't know what the storyline is. But eventually, he does marry Mary Jane Watson. And you might remember Mary Jane, when she'd speak, she said, "You hit the jackpot, Tiger," talking about how wonderful she is. And, they have actually tried to make Mary Jane into a superhero jackpot.
That's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, that's going to sell comic books. So, Mr. Bevrut, I remember the old days when Stan Lee used to do Stan's bullpen, and he never got into these sorts of fights with the audience, and neither should you. I would say, Mr. Bevrut, you probably should update your resume, because I don't think you're going to have this job long.
Oh.
You don't ever say, if it was that easy, don't you think I'd seriously do it? That means you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Mr. Bevrut, they're going to eventually, they're going to close Marvel down.
Really?
Well, absolutely. And they'll do what Disney does. Well, Disney's going to do what Disney does, obviously. They'll just hire freelancers just on the side, people who might have a passion actually in the project to do it, and pay them very cheaply to do so. Mr. Bevrut's not going to have his big paycheck much longer. Yeah. Let's get back to the real thing here. Fido, the comic strip, will beat up on Disney later on, obviously.
Obviously.
When Iron Man first came out, I went back to the Marvel stuff. I had stopped reading comic books for a long time by then. Just my life went in another direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured after Iron Man, hey, let's see what Marvel's doing these days. Nothing. They had Iron Heart. I think one character decided he wanted to go gay, and another one was tranny. It was garbage. The comic books went MCU long before the cinematic universe went MCU. And Gary had been warning everyone. Gary Biegler from Nerdrotic.
Yes, he has.
And here is Saturday. We're finishing off the 7 Days to Fido, and then they're going to the Writers' Lounge. I actually thought this wall would be like a dark castle going down a castle staircase, but the chief colorist decided to do it in red. And, well, it does punch it up a little bit now, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, because it would have been just too darn gray.
We have the cameraman here with a steady cam rig, and the first time we see the cameraman, and our interviewer. And as Bo's explaining, the most important part of the comic strip is the writing. A documentary film crew follows the making of Fido the comic strip. A comic strip can survive bad art, but not bad writing. I thought it'd be really cool if I did this great descending of a staircase, vanishing point up here and there. Tried to do good art, but obviously I can't do that. Day 7. Felicia's on the couch here. We have 10 minutes until deadline. Fido over here by a roaring fire. Oh, Garfield had a funny joke this week. Let's steal it. See Jane doing yoga.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually researched yoga pants, and for a while there was the thing with these see-through yoga pants. And what women started to do to combat that is they wore a pair of shorts over the see-through yoga pants. So, see, Jane is wearing a pair of shorts over her yoga pants. We have a rare view of Cat Boss without his helmet on. This is his helmet. By the way, they're all drinking wine here. So the writer's room. And, of course, Closet Cat's over here stuffing his face with French fries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dino playing Space Invaders in the background. And actually, the fire came out better than I thought it would. And we have a little wooden posable dummy on the mantelpiece here.
Yes.
And,
one thing I noticed about
the writer's room?
about Boss Cat is
Cat Boss.
Cat Boss.
Mm-hmm.
He does not appear to have any whiskers.
Well, that can be easily fixed. I had noticed that next week is going to be the week of continuity errors.
A little bit.
And that one I'll fix. But as we go over the next week's stuff, we can laugh at the cartoonist and his ways. So here is the next week: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday. Hey, organized.
In order?
Well, now they're in order.
I thought I did.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
So here is the next week, and Chief Colors has just started on it, but we have Dino the teacher and the schoolyard kids playing on jungle gyms. Remember in the old days when we actually had like these wonderful monkey bars over blacktop?
And we had those stainless steel slides.
There's a playground outside where we live now that they just built. And they got foam on the ground, and everything is like molded plastic, and about as safe as possible. A kid could not hurt themselves. So anyway, a kid says, "My parents think I'm too young to know about the birds and the bees." Well, you are. The birds and the bees are a metaphor for sex. Really? How? And she's like, "You're on your own on this one, buddy." Well, of course. The bees pollinate the flowers, and the birds, eat the bees. How does that explain anything? I have no idea. I never got that talk. Teachers, remember when the teachers used to smoke outside on break while we were in the playground? The good old days. But
yes and no. I don't remember any teachers smoking.
You're kidding me.
I honestly don't. You know what I see a lot of?
Chefs smoking.
Well, yes, but no, nurses.
Oh.
I see a ton of nurses and doctors smoking outside. But I don't remember seeing a lot of teachers.
And that's funny because most hospitals won't even allow you to smoke in their property.
I know. Lynn Hospital, they used to be right outside there.
Mm. All right, there is that.
Mm-hmm.
You're on your own, buddy. Okay, here's the Tuesday. Of course, Dino's got to lose his job. The principal comes in. "Dino, I've been going over your employment application. Under college, you wrote okay." Yeah, I did that." "Oh, that's good. Where did you go?" A store." I just used magazine photos. I think I can find it here." Fido's on the side assisting. "College, not collage." And "Cheater, that one's mine." You've been stealing your kid's collage. So, Dino goes to a college, the bursar's office, the University in Portunus Rex, since 2020, and in the crest they've got a $, a diploma, an expensive textbook, and a gun. Do with that as you may. I've got the lady working at the bursar's office, one of those things in her hair that my wife always has, and you notice it just doesn't work. It's not keeping the hair out of her eyes.
It's going far back.
That's part of one of my little jokes here that I figured the chief colorist would appreciate.
And I noticed it right away.
So that's the chief colorist there playing the bursar. "My teaching job requires a college education. Admissions is in September. You should fill out this application, include your SAT score, and write an essay. Felicia, you're a CAT, take care of the SAT, and Fido, you handle the essay." "Sir, you can't do that." "I don't trust them either, but I need the college education by Monday." There is the Wednesday. Here's the Thursday again. The chief colorist hasn't finished it yet.
I haven't finished any of them.
You could see a pattern here. I guess she does Fido first, and then she does Dino's pants second. I'm guessing she does Felicia third.
She does whatever she thinks she can finish.
So Dino's still at the bursar's office. "Watch this. I'll slip her a 20. Think they can be bribed? Everybody has a price. I need a college education." He slides the 20 over the table. She's still grabbing for it. "Tuition is $65,000 a year. I'll throw in the cat." And here's Friday, which we're going to have to either pencil today or just put it aside. I don't know. So from where you are, you can't see a thing, so I'll just describe the scene. We have Cat Boss on the bar, Dino, and there's Fido. Cat Boss says, "So you lost your teaching job? Who would have thought you needed to go to college to teach?" And the kids come in from school. "There he is!" Dino pops up. "Kids, have you come to support your beloved teacher?" "No, we're here for the dog." Fido's walking up.
Oh.
And Saturday, we haven't done anything on it, so you're not missing anything. Yeah, completely different storyline. Felicia says to Bo, "I need a phone." "No." "Fido has one." And he still doesn't come when called. So Felicia's looking kind of steamed, turns to Fido. "You ruined it for all of us." Fido says, "Seriously, you weren't going to come when called either." "That's just because I'm a cat." So there is the Saturday. Now, starting the next week, I guess this would be the Monday. Still working on this. It's one of the kids from Dino's classroom. He's dressed as a Boy Scout. I'll have to look up what a Boy Scout uniform looks like these days. And he says to an old lady, "May I help you across the street, ma'am?" "Certainly, young man. So nice to see a Boy Scout." And Fido's at the traffic light. He's got to pay Fido, sort of toll or whatever. As he's crossing the street with the old lady, "This merit badge is going to take all of my allowance."
Oh.
I'm wondering whether we should have any words spoken between Fido and the kid or whatever. But I'm still writing that one, so we're still thinking about it. So we can either do the rough penciling on Felicia Needs a Phone, or we can pull out our brand new Blackwing pencils and do the finished penciling on this one. I feel like a new pencil. Let's see. Do we have all 12 in here still? 3, 6, 9. Yep, 12. Completely unused box of Blackwing matte pencils. Everyone remembers Blackwing pencils were used by award-winning creators throughout the 20th century. Despite a cult following, they fell victim to cost-cutting measures in the 1990s. The machine that made that little finial broke. Wasn't worth them fixing it. And were discontinued, but not forgotten. Analog-minded devotees began paying as much as $40 for a single pencil. We acquired the brand in 2010 and brought Blackwing back for a growing culture of artists, musicians, and everyday people looking to unplug and live mindfully. Still to have no fucking idea what living mindfully means, but
I don't know. It's got something to do with a Blackwing pencil. That's all I know.
yeah. But the hippies make the best art supplies.
Dearest.
Let's sharpen this thing. Otherwise, it's pointless.
Dearest.
Yes.
May I have the scripts I was working on?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Got them up here on the magnets.
Mm-hmm.
See the famous cherry wood board that we draw Fido the comic strip on magically has the ability to be ferrous as well. I'll never explain the magic which I have used to to make a ferrous wood board. Irving on camera one. Soon we're going to have better equipment for Irving because we just purchased a new camera where we can record all this on a SIM card and maybe even, perish the thought, do some editing. We won't ever do any editing, but at least we'll record this beforehand. You'll not have to worry about live streaming anymore. So Irving, while you still got the old crappy camera, could you zoom into about here so that we can see what we're doing? Hey, what I'm also planning on doing when I get the new camera up and running, when I do the zoom, I'll just hit pause, zoom in, and then record, so it'll be seamless. Really, the production value here at Fido the Comic Strip is going through the roof, as you can tell. All right, get in there,
Irving.
There we go. You can almost see that. Now, as you all know, cartoonists are the dirtiest, filthiest creatures on the face of the planet, so I have to wear this, a glove, to keep me from getting my filth on this page. And I also should put down a piece of paper because I don't want to smear the pencil marks anymore. If you look closely here, you can already see that I've got some sort of mess going on here that we already got to live with or start again. So I assure you, this is not an excuse whatsoever to do a bit. So Daredevil Born Again can't find an audience. Gee, I wonder why. After on the She-Hulk, you had him do the Walk of Shame. By the way, everyone, Daredevil's a Catholic, and well, good Catholic boys don't have premarital sex. I know the chief colorist is going to pop up now and say every Catholic boy she knows does, but this is supposed to be a superhero. He's like the uber Catholic. So after you damage Daredevil, and then you turned Kingpin into a bitch when Echo shot him in the eye. Yeah, a little crying. Yeah, I wonder why your audience is saying I'll take a pass. Besides the fact that it's just on Disney Plus, and a lot of people, that the cartoonist included here, are just never going to buy Disney Plus because you've just done too much damage, and we're heading in this direction. And Mr. Feige, I think it's time for you to step down. And you're going to spend $600 million on that. Now, let's think for a second here. Some people say this is good, although all my friends on YouTube say that Daredevil Born Again sucks. It's not as good, but it could have been much worse. So you're going to spend $500-600 million on this, and even if it's good, you might have already lost your audience, and I wonder why. Well, we're done beating up on Disney Marvel. Let's beat up on Disney Lucasfilm.
Okay.
Well, we've got Variety has put out a Facebook. What do you call Facebook things?
Post.
Okay, Facebook post. George Lucas had over 60 scripts for Star Wars series that would have cost $40 million an episode.
Yeah.
And Disney got it with Lucasfilm. Quote, these were dark scripts. They were sexy. They were violent. It would have blown up the whole Star Wars universe, and Disney would have definitely never offered George to buy the franchise.
What?
Yeah, that's not a
sentence.
Yeah. Disney would have never offered George to buy the money, maybe to buy the franchise. Yeah, there's a word missing there. Says producer Rick McCallum. It's one of the great disappointments of our lives that it didn't get made. The problem was that each episode was bigger than films. So the lowest I could get down to with each that existed was $40 million an episode. Hey, how much are they spending now?
Probably damn close to it.
I think they're spending more than that Amazon is spending more than that on that stupid Lord of the Rings thing they're doing. Yeah. Underworld was set between the events of Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Lou Wasserman's Ghosts on YouTube says that it's unlikely that they have 60 finished scripts because just the cost of that with the writers would have just been stupid. And so we have some ideas that these things, it is not likely. But here's the article. George Lucas X Star Wars series cost $40 million an episode. Would have blown up the franchise, and Disney would never have bought Lucasfilm if it had gotten made. I remember when Kathy Kennedy came in, she said, well, it's not like we had any stories.
Oh, God.
And everyone at that time was saying, well, you have the whole expanded universe. But beyond that, I guess you also had 60 TV scripts here. But we have to remember that, these are George Lucas scripts. They probably were shit because George was just finished off the prequels, and the prequels sucked. And I'm pretty sure these sucked too, although they're written by Rick McCallum and a few other real writers. So maybe they were interesting. Maybe they were good. I always say this phrase: in the second it leaves my lips, I always cringe. But here we go. It couldn't have been any worse.
Don't say that. I'd like to take issue with it would have blown up Star Wars. Isn't that in fact what they've done? Just
Well,
just like a kaboom sense,
they have certainly devalued their product, much like the dollar has been devalued. Hey, voters were right about the economy. The data was wrong. Before the presidential election, many Democrats were puzzled by the seeming disconnect between economic reality as reflected in various government statistics and the public's perception of the economy on the ground. Many in Washington bristled at the public's failure to register how strong the economy really was. They charged that right-wing echo chambers were conning voters into believing entirely preposterous narratives about the America's decline. What they really considered was whether something else might be responsible for the disconnect. Whether, for instance, government statistics were fundamentally flawed. What if the numbers supporting the case for broad-based prosperity were themselves misrepresentations? What if, in fact, darker assessments of the economy were more authentically tethered to reality? Mm-hmm. Apparently, the true inflation was like 18% rather than the 4% that Biden said it was. And now it's at 8%. Still, it's insane. So for our edification, I printed up the last 5 years of Disney's stock price, and way back here we're around $200, and today we're down below 100. It's actually 98.64 at this recording, and I'd like to point out that at the time that we were at 18% inflation, Disney was at the lowest point. So if the dollar is worth how much less?
Oh.
How much lower should Disney have been?
Quite a bit.
This certainly is a company that has lost billions in movies. Just about every movie from 2023 to 2024 to even this year, 2025, has lost them hundreds of millions of dollars. They're overspending. They're over. So this is an old article from July 2024. That would be around that low point that I'm pointing out here, where finally, this is, I believe, Fortune magazine says, well, why are they so low? Imagine if at this time Fortune actually knew what the inflation rate was. So I don't have my dumpster fire Disney page today, but we have the next best thing. Here's the movie poster for Snow White. I think Disney is looking at this thing like the Epstein papers. Look how redacted they are. What is Disney more worried about? The Snow White box office results or the results of the Epstein files?
Oh.
Look at this. Everything is blacked out. These Epstein files.
And why did we think it was going to be any different? I mean, they've had so many years. They probably don't even know what they redacted.
Snow White actor responds to Disney movie's premiere pivot. Quote, they're afraid. Martin Clever has apparently in 2 previous versions of Snow White. I don't need that. That's just my writer. So anyway, the big storyline here is they hired a dwarf actually to play the voice of one of the CGI dwarfs. And the new storyline is that these people were never meant to be the original 7 dwarfs. It's just by happenstance, there happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. That's just coincidence. Disney always planned on using the CGI monstrosities. They didn't change midstream here. No. That never happened. So that's the new storyline here. And we're going to worry about the career now of Rachel Ziegler. She's going off to Broadway and such. She's going to play Evita next. And she's box office poison. Not a single one of her films has made money. And Here's the official advice from Fido the comic strip to America's new sweetheart, Rachel Ziegler. Rachel, what you should do is pick up a drug problem.
Oh.
Something, sexy, like cocaine. And then, like, have sex tapes released. And then you could certainly pull a Lindsay Lohan and not just do the wardrobe malfunctions, but appear naked on magazines and maybe have a sex tape released. So that's Fido the comic strip's official recommendations for you, Miss Ziegler, is to pull a Lohan.
There was a Lindsay Lohan sex tape?
No, there wasn't a Lindsay Lohan sex tape, but she did have multiple wardrobe malfunctions, and then leaned into that by Lindsay likes to be naked. I think is what. Right here. I think it's the headline here on the New York Magazine.
She tried.
Lindsay Lohan likes. She pulled a whole Marilyn Monroe thing. She did a bunch of Marilyn Monroe like photos, and she went even in the Playboy spread. Lindsay, it's called underwear.
Oh.
Well, at least we know she shaves.
Oh.
But anyway, hey, Lindsay is appearing in Freaky Friday 2, Freakier Friday, which releases around the time that we're all going to go out and see Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah. She tried to do a reality show where she was like a businesswoman in some resort, I think.
So they've got the big problem with this particular thing that all of Disney films have. Because people are, why see it in the theater? It's only going to be on streaming in as little as 9 days. Yes, that's right. It happens in as little as 9 days. That movie with Cedric from Harry Potter. I don't know. He whatever. It's been in theaters for about a week. 9 days from now, it's going to be on streaming. I think. What's the plot? Cedric has to. It's completely.
I know it's gone straight out of my brain.
All I know is Mark Ruffalo plays like a Donald Trump-like character. Oh yeah, Cedric plays like an expendable astronaut who goes off with this cult of assholes who want to like colonize another planet, and they keep on killing him off, and they got a printer to bring him back, print a new body, bring him back to life.
Machine 19
something like that. Anyway, it's been out a week, and they already announced in 9 days it's going to be in the theater. So who the hell is going to see?
No, it's going to be in streaming.
Who the hell is going to see Freakier Friday in a theater when they know in 9 days probably it's going to be on Disney Plus?
Especially considering that's like made for Disney Plus. I mean, that's Disney Plus. You sit down with your kids and you spend $20 and watch it. Yeah, that's made for streaming. Yep.
I'm happy to see Lindsay Lohan working again, and we have a choice here between various versions of naked women to have on our screen, on our page during the day while we're doing this trip. And I think I've had enough of Rachel Ziegler. I'm so happy to see Lindsay Lohan back.
Oh God!
Hey, Lindsay, how you doing? You're my favorite redhead. She's a mommy now, I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me last night. I had no idea. I had no idea Lindsay was a mommy.
Wife and mother doing all right. Like I said, she tried to do a
that's very nice
reality TV show where she was like the head of a resort or something, and it was like behind the scenes, whatever. But I don't know if it went anywhere, and I don't even know where it was. I think it might have been on like MTV or something.
I already broke the tip off my pencil.
Oh. But no, I had no problems with Lindsay Lohan. She did herself problems, and she tried to come out of it like Robert Downey Jr.
Well, I perennially had Lindsay in the death pool. I apologize, Miss Lohan. I just thought you were self-destructive.
Well, she was, but then she grew up. I mean, some people.
Well, no more self-destructive than Britney Spears. Mm-hmm. At least she didn't shave her head.
Sometimes your Marky Mark remains Marky Mark, and sometimes your Marky Mark becomes Mark Wahlberg. I mean.
By the way, we are still hoping that we can get Marky Mark to play the voice of Closet Cat in a very special Fido Christmas. Mr. Wahlberg, it's the role of a lifetime, the role you were born to play. And pay no attention to the fact that he's called Closet Cat. He's all man, I assure you.
Come on, help out a fellow Bostonian.
Help out a fellow Bostonian. Get your friends Matt and Ben to come in and play the Dino and Bo. It'll be a fun time. We'll all get beer, Sam Adams beer, and cigars, and have a good time. It's not like you have to put on makeup or do anything. It's just recording your voices. That's all we're doing. It'll be a great Fido Christmas special, and only you, Mr. Wahlberg, can make it happen. Let's get some fire going here. This thing's become a big pattern of ash. There we go. So, as I've explained many times in the past, for anyone new here, what we do at Fido the Comic Strip is a light penciling using something as innocuous as a Dixon Ticonderoga pencil, because it's very easily erasable. That's why they used to have to do all the SAT tests with number 2 pencils. And then I go over with a very difficult to erase but darker pencil, which is the Blackwing, which is why you're able to see it here on streaming. Let's put another point on that. You oftentimes think that these are just mistakes. These are not Lindsay's fault. But you've done this, Chief Colorist. You can feel when your nipple is hanging outside your shirt, right? Sometimes you think she did it on purpose.
Well, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. I mean, sometimes you aren't certain, I'm having a problem because some of my shirts are a little bit bigger than than they had been on me once. And so I might be showing a little more cleavage and such and shoulder, but
And we thank you for it. So, did we go over the continuity errors?
I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
No.
So I noticed I almost did it on this one. I've been drawing.
Do you want these back?
Yeah, so just give me the ones that we screwed up on. I've been drawing Dino, and I fixed it here. But in his T-shirt, because I'm used to drawing Dino in his T-shirt, but Teacher Dino has to wear a button-down shirt. So in this particular one, I drew him in his T-shirt, and then I said, oh, he wears a button-down shirt. So by the third panel, I'm drawing him in his proper teacher shirt. And then I say to myself, oh, I've got to go back and fix it in the first 2 panels. And I never did. I think I already inked these 2 and came to this one. And I said, oh, damn it. And I'd already started inking. And I also had under the desk here, a modesty panel. And I'd forgotten that as well. I had it here, but I didn't have it there. So it's like I just had to split the difference, do what I could. And I don't think there is a continuity error in this second.
Yes, there is the shoes.
Oh. So here he's wearing his sneakers. Here he's wearing his sneakers. And in this panel, he's wearing Bo's shoes.
Oops.
It's like, I don't know. Your cartoonist is getting older. How can I say? The dementia, when it sets in on you, you'll understand. So come back to us, Lindsay and your Lohans.
Oh, my.
So happy to have you back, Lindsay. I hope Freaky Friday does well, but we know it won't.
It'll have a following afterwards. It'll have a Disney
Plus
following, but it won't get new people.
There's the thing. Yeah, there is no Disney Plus following. Disney Plus has plateaued.
Well, let's put it this way: the people who already have Disney Plus will watch it.
I told them years ago, throw away Disney Plus and start licensing your stuff out, so at least you're making money on this
They
crap.
had been doing that. They were on Netflix, I think.
Yeah.
And then they screwed up. They had Disney Channel, which was different. So after things left the Disney Channel, they went places. But then they brought it all back to Disney Plus.
All Bob Iger's fault.
Yeah.
But we've been through this. Way back when they were around $200 a share, I had said, hey, listen, you need a cartoonist as CEO. I threw my hat in the ring. And it's your fault that you didn't take me up on the offer. I could have saved you.
That's right.
So the Disney stockholders have what's coming to them, and they're going to get it good.
All right.
You should have taken Nelson Peltz up on his offer. Oh, anything that comes to you, you deserve. And you think that your stock is worth $98 today? I'm sorry, it's not. It's worth about half that.
Oh, poor Disney.
But I'm glad you got your paycheck, Lindsay. Now we got to bring you back in Herbie 3, and what else? What else did Lindsay do?
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls, Meaner Girls. She's a little bit too old for that now,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, I mean, she's too old for Freaky Friday too.
No, of course not. Because what? Are you going to say that?
Yes.
What's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes. Is too old to play a mommy.
Yes. I am gonna say, although it's gonna have to be senior citizen and middle-aged woman.
Yeah, most likely she has a child now.
Yeah.
The sequel features a multi-generational twist, with the film picking up many years after Tess and Anna originally swapped bodies. Anna has a daughter of her own, plus soon-to-be stepdaughter. Tess and Anna navigate the challenges that come with merging two families and, quote, discover that lightning might indeed strike twice, end quote. The trailer reveals that this time it's a four-way body swap as Anna, Tess, and Anna's daughter and stepdaughter all wake up in different bodies. And hilarity ensues.
Oh, I found the continuity error on this one.
Yeah,
unless I'm missing.
Pass it up so we can show it to all the folks at home.
Same one, eyeglasses. On the guy.
He's taking off his eyeglasses.
Oh, he's taking them off. Okay.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, and also
Okay.
Dino put his shirt on here.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
See, a lot of time has passed between panel 2 and panel 3.
Okay.
We had a chance for Dino to put his shirt on.
Is it even the same day? I don't think it's even the same day. I think it might be a different day.
So the cartoonist has an opportunity here to cheat, and everyone at home, you're not seeing this.
Close your eyes.
The cartoonist only uses a proper paintbrush. Never, a real cartoonist will never use a marker. Oh, well, yes, we'll use a marker to like sign checks and autographs and such like that. But you do not ever draw your comic strip with a marker. It's unprofessional as hell. So
make sure you never, ever do that.
Don't ever do this.
It's the mark of a bad cartoon.
Mark of a bad cartoon. Go lay down. So, there you go. Hey, Lindsay. Nice to see you again. What's that, Mr. Lohan? Oh, yes, you are a dirty girl.
No.
What?
Stop.
What?
Stop.
I always liked Lindsay Lohan, particularly in Herbie. She was really fun. Did she go through the whole like Disney child program where she was like a musketeer and worked up that way?
You know, I'm not sure if she was a musketeer, but she was in a Yeah, she was in Disney movies when she was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, she also did the remake of the Parent Trap. That was her too. Parent Trap, is that what it's called?
Was she one of the kids?
She was both kids because they're identical.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I've never seen it.
You've never seen the Parent Trap?
I vaguely know what it's about, but no, I don't think I've. Sort of crap I watch.
Then you watched Herbie.
Well, I remember the original Herbie with.
Yes, well, the Parent Trap has an original one from our decade.
Herbie the Love Bug. I think what that comedian Buddy Hackett was in it, but I don't know.
Was it Buddy?
Well, he was the mechanic, but he wasn't the main. There was some sort of straight-laced white guy who could play like any role.
Yeah.
And of course, they had to gender swap it and put Lindsay Lohan in. But if you're going to gender swap, Lindsay's the gender I want swapped too. Yeah, let's put another pencil. Point on that pencil. So we wish you well in your career, Lindsay, but also wish you well in your career, Miss. Don't cry for me, Disney.
Rachel
Ziegler. Going on to play Evita. I highly recommend that you pick up a drug habit, go into rehab, clean up your life, and do a big comeback with a sex tape. Because right now you're pretty sexless.
What's your new intro? The opinions are not those of
not those of Charles Lincoln Crosser III.
Just the start.
But these are the opinions of Fido the comic strip.
Okay.
We do highly recommend that Rachel Ziegler grow a pair.
These opinions do not reflect the opinions.
Rachel Ziegler is sort of like the opposite of what we used to call back in my day the sex symbol. She's like the opposite of a sex symbol. You look at her and, well, things get smaller.
Stop with the young girl bashing. She's a child.
She's of legal age.
Of legal age.
So I can say what I want about her.
I know you can say what you. Well, yes, I know, but she's still. She's very much young in spirit.
Very immature.
Yes.
The joke on the internet now is the whole Snow White thing between Rachel and Gal Gadot has become sort of a Palestinian-Israeli battle.
Oh.
But I really believe that during the making of the film, Rachel had no idea that Gal Gadot was Jewish. And now, she said all this anti-Semitic crap, and it's like, what? The woman I worked with all that time is Jewish? I didn't know that. What? She was actually in the Jewish army?
Yes, she was. She was in the Israeli army. Which has a couple of implies a couple of things. She could also kick your proverbial ass.
No, not really.
Oh my God, yes, she could.
Gal Gadot is a large woman, but a woman is a woman. Men are
against
1/3.
Rachel.
Oh, Rachel. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Gal Gadot.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
And I don't even think that Gal knows Krav Maga, whatever that Israeli kung fu is. But yeah, Gal has at least done something with her life. What have you done, Rachel? You won a casting call. We have Steven Spielberg to thank for this gift to to cinematic history.
For the West Side Story.
Which did nothing. She won like an open casting call. Well, yeah, it failed. But I could have told Steven that would have failed.
That was so dumb because that is such a. I don't want to say that word. It begins with an I and ends with a C.
Idiotic?
Iconic.
Oh.
You made me say it.
That's an iconic role.
It is, and it's a beautiful. The music, the dancing, it's quite well done. And why would you ever try to remake it? They tried to remake Footloose, for God's sakes, and that failed. And if you can't redo Footloose and make it successful, what the hell makes you think you can redo West Side Story you're making.
Because he's Steven Spielberg. His poop smells like fresh baked brownies.
No.
Steven Spielberg can do anything.
His movie didn't smell like fresh baked brownies. I couldn't even tell you. I didn't even know it was her who was in it. I couldn't tell you anybody else who was in that stupid West Side Story thing. I don't think there's a lot of people who could either. But I can tell you it was Rita Moreno, and it was Natalie Wood. I have to get the guy's name. Was that no.
There's a local radio talk show host that, for some reason, every time I hear West Side Story, I just think of a little sound cut that he plays whenever he's talking about certain things. Everything's free in America.
So much to see in America. No, it was.
Sorry, that's all I could think of when I hear West Side Story. And everything's free in America.
Oh, they're bringing me to 2021. Oh, I don't want that one. I want the good one.
You would think that Rachel Ziegler would have imposter syndrome. It's just by luck of winning this casting call, not necessarily by any other reasons. She's turned from internet to Hollywood star, baby. Yeah, that's like it in the big business. Sorry, I'm still going through the interview she did.
I do not want this West Side Story. I want the good one.
What, did they pull up the Ziegler one?
It went immediately to it. It didn't even give me an option. When I hit West Side Story, it went.
Google does that because it's an advertiser.
I know. Oh, Richard Biner. I didn't know that.
Mm.
I didn't know his name at all.
Not to be confused with John Biner,
I know.
which would be the more famous Biner
Russ Tamlin
if you're Canadian.
was in that. I'm sorry, I'm going down an IMDb rabbit hole.
Yeah, no problem. So, kid's wearing a little hoodie. And let's see, this kid here is that kid there. So
He's still alive.
let's get another point to this pencil. And drawing the characters is small. You need a very sharp one. Well, the chief colorist loves it when I draw something this small.
Oh, yes. Because it doesn't make the faces look really dark and dirty.
Well, these are kids. Of course their faces are dirty. Oh, I forgot. We got little Anna here in the foreground. 2, 3.
Now you've got that stupid song in my head.
Programming complete.
I know.
And I was like drawing multiple kids, overlapping multiple kids. Because of course they got to stand in this really tight little group so that they fit in the panel together. This might be the last time I have to draw these effing kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, gosh. What a shame.
what a shame. Now we got the fat kid here in the background with the glasses. Draw his eyes first. And the big glasses. You got a sort of a and he's behind the kid with the big nose and the curly hair. Young Ben Stiller. And that's that good. How's that coffee? It feels cold. Horrible. I need a microwave like right here where I can warm my coffee up in.
I could drink the same cup of coffee all day long. Hot, cold.
Yeah, I like it hot.
I don't know. I prefer it really hot, but you don't ever drink iced coffee, do you?
I really hated it when I was younger, but I'm starting to, get into the mindset where I can drink it these days.
I like iced coffee. And as a true New Englander, I can drink a hot coffee in the middle of summer too. So.
All right, now, Dejected Dino. It's good that my characters can act. And acting is sometimes an important thing for a character to be able to do. Sometimes they don't need to act. They just can be pretty.
Oh, so pretty.
Like Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot doesn't need to learn how to act.
Now, see, I don't think Gal Gadot is pretty. I think she is attractive.
Well, when I used that phrase a little while ago, sex symbol, she would be that sort of thing if we had such things these days.
Right.
Farrah Fawcett was considered the sex symbol of my age.
Not necessarily pretty.
Back before my nutsack dropped.
I know.
I think she was big when I was like 6, 7 years old. 6 or 7 years old. Maybe younger. But everyone had that poster in their room. Not me, though. I had a farmer, and then later on, Evel Knievel. For the strangest reasons in the world, I could not imagine. Where we lived, I guess they had some work done on the bathroom, which was in the opposing wall, and they had to open a hole in the wall. And when they patched the wall back up, they didn't do a very good job. So my mother thought, well, we'll just throw a poster over that patch. So for years, for some strange reason, I had a farmer, a poster of a farmer on my wall. And then when I said something about it, I guess when I got to the age of reason of like 4 or 5, she replaced it with, of all things, Evel Knievel. And I thought it was Harley Davidson because that's all he had. He was wearing a white leather vest with a Harley Davidson #1 on it.
Oh, so
I had no idea who he was, although I had been watching Evel Knievel do all the jumps and stuff. But all you see is like a little guy in a helmet. Evel Knievel arguably is a pretty generic-looking guy. Kind of looks like Steve McQueen. Generic-looking guy. So I thought I had Harley Davidson on my wall.
It's cute that you think that most of the people who are listening to this right now even know who Evel Knievel is.
They have Google. They can look him up.
Okay, but that's adorable that you think they might know. That's super cute, honey. Evel Knievel to them is like somebody telling us Lawrence Welk. Although we knew Lawrence Welk.
My grandmother watched her show every week. I think it's on Sundays.
My parents weren't those people. Like my parents didn't watch like Merv Griffin and Lawrence Welk and all the sappy shows. I don't know why.
But she loved it.
Oh no, a lot of people did. A lot of people did. And a 1 and a 2. Oh, I just made it into the count, but you know what I mean.
I didn't get it, but I appreciate it more now, I suppose. Champagne music, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
At least the music styles changed over the years. I mean, we've been stuck with the same music style since the late 90s. I thought for sure rap would have gone the way of disco by now.
I believe that there is new music. It's just that we do not know it.
I'll take your word for it.
No, I'm not saying I know it either. I'm just saying I believe there is, and we just don't know it. Apparently, there's a whole ton of slang that is just completely out of my knowledge. This is what I don't like about not working for a college anymore. At least in college, I kind of kept up with the trends. I didn't feel quite as old.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on much of that surviving. I can remember Mad Magazine things about all the wacky slang these hipster kids have these days. Cool.
Oh
man,
yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
and then it went even worse in the 80s with Totally Tubular and
Oh no, it won't last.
Roadie to the Max.
Yeah, it won't last. But what I'm saying is
Yeah.
there are things now that exist like that we don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about losing touch.
My first,
I draw a fucking comic strip that's supposed to appear in newspapers, and I bet most of the people out there don't even know what a goddamn newspaper is. I certainly don't think they print them anymore.
I'll bet you could find a newspaper.
Yeah, somewhere in flyover country.
I wonder if they still have like the little kind of throwaway ones that they used to have in convenience stores and stuff. Like the Saugus Advocate, or you know what I mean?
Was it the Advertiser?
No, the Saugus Advertiser was legitimate Saugus paper, but there was like a freebie that you get at like Pop Cheese and
Okay, Lindsay, so nice to see so much of you today. I think we are done with this. What are we doing on time? We're about an hour and 6 minutes. Let's we gotta come up with a title for this. Hey, Irving, camera one, would you like zoom out a bit on the board? Yeah. Thank you. I'd like to get a bit better view. And we gotta come up with this. See, we spoke about Lindsay Lohan a lot, and Rachel Ziegler's future career prospects. Disney. Let's see, what did they do besides wasting time and money? We gotta come up with a title for this. Well, a lot of continuity errors. Yeah,
In continuity.
Continuity errors.
Okay.
That's not a bad title for this one.
No, that works.
Thank you for joining us. Fido Live number 140.
See you guys next week.
Somehow we'll come up with a picture of all this to put on the thumbnail. See you all next week.
Bye.
Bye. Rumble. Stream. And YouTube.